Christmas story. Now I know some of you young folks and some of you old folks that's young at heart will be disappointed because it was the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. But the story I want to tell you about Conrad and his Christmas guests. It was a cold and frigid, snow on the ground Christmas day. And Conrad was in his lean and bigger shop when two dear friends stopped by for a visit. And while they were visiting, Conrad told them that the Lord had appeared to him in a dream last night and told him he was going to be his Christmas guest because he was going to spend Christmas evening with him. So you can imagine how excited Conrad was to know that the Lord himself was going to spend Christmas evening with him. So after Conrad and his guests had finished their visit, his guests left. And so Conrad began getting his shop all in order for his special guest, the Lord. So he placed boughs of pine and fir about the shop to make it smell good. And he wrapped holly around the rafters. And he set the table for two. And he built a good fire in his heating stove. And he shined up his tea kettle. And he was all ready for the Lord to come. Now I got lost. So all of Conrad's family had passed away several years before, and so he spent many a sad and lonely Christmases by himself. But he knew with the Lord coming to visit him, this was going to be the dearest and best Christmas of them all. So he waited on the Lord to come. Then he heard a noise outside, and he hurried to the window and looked out, and he seen a poor old beggar man standing out there in the snow. His clothes were all tattered and worn, his coat had tears in it, and his shoes had holes in them, and the tops and the bottom both. And so Conrad was touched. So he went to the door and invited the man to come in and warm himself by the fire, because your feet must be frozen and bruised. And so the man came in, and Conrad told him, I have a coat for you to keep you warmer, and I have some shoes for you to keep your feet warm and dry. And so after the man had warmed himself with a grateful heart for the coat and the shoes, that he left. And Conrad noticed that the hours of Christmas had fast slipping by, and the Lord hadn't come yet like he said that he would. So he heard a knock at the door, and he went to the door because he thought this was the Lord coming then. And he opened the door, and there was an old woman that was bent over with age. She had a black shawl wrapped around her shoulders, and she carried a bundle of kindling on her back. And she told Conrad, I'm so cold and so tired, could I come in and rest for a while? And Conrad really didn't want to come in because that place at the table was set for his special guest, the Lord. But he could tell from her pleading voice, which seemed to be saying, please don't send me away on this Christmas day. So he had her come in and set at the table. He got her something to eat, and he brewed her a steaming hot cup of tea. So after she had rested and gotten warmed up, then she left. And again, Conrad noticed the hours of Christmas almost passed, and the Lord hadn't come yet like he said he would. And maybe he misunderstood, but he heard a knock at the door, and he thought, that has to be the Lord now. So he went to the door and opened it, and he was disappointed as he was twice before, because the little girl had wandered away and gotten lost and couldn't find her way home. So Conrad was feeling pretty sad that it wasn't the Lord, but he knew he had to make the little girl feel glad. So he had her come in, and he wiped away her tears, and he brushed away all of her childish fears, and then he took her by the hand and led her down the street and found her home. So when Conrad got back to his shop, he seen the hour of Christmas was already passed, and the Lord wouldn't be coming like he said that he would. So he went out and got ready to go to bed. But before he got in bed, he knelt down to pray. And he said, oh Lord, why did you tarry? Why did you delay? Why didn't you come and visit me like you said that you would? And out of the silence he heard a voice that said, lift up your head, for I kept my word. I was a beggar with cold bruised feet. I was a woman you gave something to eat. I was a child that you led home. So 3 times I came to your door, and 3 times I came in. And each time I felt the warmth of a friend. And of all the gifts, love is the best. And I was honored to be your Christmas guest. And in Matthew 25, verse 37 and 40, it says in part, the righteous asked the Lord, when did we see you naked and clothe you? When did we see you hungry and feed you? When did we see you thirsty and give you drink? And the Lord said, insomuch as you do these to the least of them, my brethren, you've done it to me. So I want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas. I love all of you.